Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. The case, I don't know if any of you know about it, but this is the case of this lady up in the right-hand corner here, Hannah Kobayashi. She's Hawaiian. And I saw that this case was sort of unfolding, just through my Twitter feed and my social media. I saw posts coming up from different people that I follow on Twitter. Heather's like, yeah, just a chat. You carry on, you can chat, Heather, and I'll answer you in the chat. But I want to tell you about this case as well, because the thing now, I will probably release this video, edited, of course, afterwards. So I've seen little bits. I think you'll find it interesting, Heather. It's an absolute mystery what's happening in this case. So I've seen it sort of flitting through my social media, and I just want to show you how I've mainly seen it, which is through Twitter or X. With this SF Investigates, Steve Fisher, who I follow, and he's been talking about it. And how you see tweet, you know what it's like. You see a tweet, you scroll past. I mean, in the world of true crime, there's always something going on. And there are some cases that I take notice of, others that I don't. I don't like children's cases, as you know, unless, like at the moment we're following Sarah Sharif, etc., because that's what I've been following from the beginning. But generally, I give the children's cases a swerve. And I'd seen this case come up about this Hannah Kobayashi. And it's a very mysterious case, really a mysterious case, because this lady disappeared. She's from Hawaii, and she apparently came to America for a holiday, and then in between sort of two connecting flights, she disappeared. But not only that, so all her family came over. Her father supposedly flew over from Hawaii. I think that's where he was living anyway. We'll see more about it. Let me just. Now, sorry, I've completely lost what I was talking now. So this Steve Fisher, he's a sort of boots on the ground type of guy, and he said he made a tweet. He was looking for her. He was out there searching for this girl, this woman, and he then decided, he made a tweet and said he wasn't going to look for her anymore because he felt that maybe she had wanted to be missing, that she'd taken herself off because she wanted to be missing. Some people want to disappear. They just want to drop out of life for whatever reason, or they want to find themselves, or they want to lose themselves, or whatever it is. Not everybody who is missing is lost, basically. And then the weirdest thing in the world happened, because the father, who had been sort of like begging for help for people to find his daughter, he's now deleted himself. So before she's even been found, or before anybody knows what has happened to this woman, he's deceased. Literally yesterday, he threw himself off a car park, a high-story, multi-story car park, and deleted himself. So it's like, what? Could you imagine when you were looking for your daughter who'd gone missing? I could understand that you might do it if you found out your daughter was dead and somebody had, red-rummed her or whatever. Could you imagine doing it before you even know what's happened to her? So this is very suspicious, isn't it? Or very strange. Did he have something to do with the disappearance of Hannah? Let's have a closer look at Hannah. I think I've got, let's see if I've got the big picture of her up here. Yeah. So this is Hannah. And she was seen at the airport in Los Angeles with an unknown male who has not been identified. So, of course, you can imagine the fact of her father killing himself has, you know, kicked off a million conspiracy theories. And also because the police are saying absolutely nada, nothing, zilch. So you know what it's like when the police, the authorities say nothing, it gets filled in by other people saying, oh, this might have happened or that might have happened. Well, what's needed here is some information from the police so that to stop these conspiracy theories in their tracks. But now her father has deleted himself. Why did he do that? Why would he possibly do that? Very, very strange. So it's turning into a real mystery. So the thing is, David, I think they were on the CCTV, but nobody's ever come out and said who this person was. Now, she was supposed to have gone off. Oh, all her family said was the person that she was seen on CCTV with was known to her. Now, there's a lot of talk that she was supposedly with her ex-boyfriend. There's a lot of talk about mysterious messages. There's a lot about this case that reminds me of Anna Knežević, because the family received messages from Hannah, supposedly from her phone, but the messages were not like messages that normally came from her. So first of all, she would normally always send a lot of emojis in her messages. There was no emojis in these messages. The language that was used was strange, you know, not like the sort of way she would normally talk. So to me, I think these messages were sent by somebody who has done something to Hannah personally. But it's all conjecture. So, you know, probably the powers that be, the authorities would say, don't speculate, don't speculate. And you go, oh, well, are you going to give us any information then? Oh, no, we're not giving you any information, but don't speculate. You know, it's one of them. Anyway, let's have a look at, first of all, and I've got loads of videos to show you. This, you couldn't make this one up. Let's look at this first one. So this is an earlier video. This is before her father killed himself.
Traveling from Hawaii to New York, but mysteriously vanished while on a stopover in Los Angeles. This is the last haunting video of Hannah as she just happened to walk by an event promoting LeBron James.
That's odd, isn't it? This, and to me, this is not right. I think there's more to this video because they've really, it seems very close up for a start, for a surveillance video. And if it was so close up, I mean, was she with somebody then? You know, did she go on is this a holiday that she went on? Because there's a lot of talk about she's missed a connecting flight. She was supposed to go from there to somewhere else, but she took her luggage off the carousel at this stop. So as if this was her final destination, not as if she was going off somewhere else. Who's saying that she was going off somewhere else? Is that a lie? I feel like there's a lot of lies gone on here by people that knew Hannah really well. And these lies are unraveling. And maybe that's the reason why her father has taken the steps that he's done. This is a very mysterious case.
James sneakers. Jim Murray spoke with family members who are desperate for answers.
Mystery is swirling around the disappearance of a young woman headed to New York City. This surveillance photo shows Hannah Kobayashi arriving at LAX on November 8th from...
Now, she looks to me on that photo as if she's smiling at somebody or, you know, Anyway, that's how it occurs to me. Was she even on her own there?
So November 8th from her home state of Hawaii. The 30-year-old photographer was en route to New York City, but missed her connecting flight by mere minutes.
We have confirmed footage of her running and trying to catch.
This is her father. This is her father who has, you know, done away with himself, thrown himself off a car park building. Why would he do that before he even knows what's happened to his daughter? This is my question. As I say, I understand if it had come out that she was dead or someone had done something terrible to her, but he doesn't at this point know what has happened to his daughter, supposedly. Now, she might really need him, need his help. And if she'd been kidnapped or something terrible had happened to her, but she survived, she would definitely need her dad, wouldn't she, to help her through it. Something very strange there that he's done that before he even knows what's happened to her, supposedly. These are her aunts. So these must be her mum's sisters. I don't know where her mum is.
Catch the flight.
I spoke to Hannah's two aunts and father.
I'm just twisting and turning for the last week about what's going on.
So what happened to Hannah? Here's one clue. 2 days after she landed in LA.
And he does have a worried look about him. But of course, David, he would have a worried look, I suppose, if your daughter had gone missing. But of course, now we're looking at these videos of him in a different way than we were before. As before he did what he did, why is he taking himself away from his daughter like that? You know, he's been saying about how lovely she was. Oh, that's another thing. He's referred to her in the past tense. We'll see that in a moment. How lovely she was. But then, before he even knows what's happened to her, he's deleted himself. It's so strange, this case.
A videographer just happened to capture footage of the missing woman attending a Nike LeBron James merchandise event at the Grove shopping mall. Notice she's wearing headphones and a backpack. Next day, her phone pinged at LAX. She also texted something unsettling to her family. I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening.
Yeah. Now, tell me, David, you know, because you followed the Hannah Kobayashi case with me. How much does this remind you of messages that Hannah Kobayashi sent? I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening. I'm heading back to the airport to get to NYC. I might need some help getting there. No emojis, which her family have said she was like sent loads of emojis. You know, so the thing is about messages, people think, oh, it's a message and, you know, it means nothing, but you can tell the messages that people send. I get lots of messages on WhatsApp, as we all do. Most of us use WhatsApp a lot now. And some people send I've got friends who send like that. They'd send a message like that, mainly Spanish people. And they'd send a message like that and they wouldn't put it all on one message. It would be, I just finished a very intense spiritual awakening. Send. I'm heading back to the airport. Send. To get to NYC. You know, some people send their messages very clipped like that. Other people like that, like this one is. People like me, I send a great big massive message. It's more like an email. I put as much information into it as I possibly can. Especially work messages and things, because, you know, I'm trying to sort of tell the students all the different options, etc. So everyone has their own way of sending messages. I send very few emojis, just maybe one at the most in a message. But I've noticed that other people that send me messages, they send loads. Their whole message is practically emojis. And this is apparently what Hannah did. So that's what's strange about these messages that aren't typical of Hannah. And then, of course, other people send voice messages, which I absolutely hate with a passion. I just, because I never have time to listen to him. Somebody sends me a voice message, I might be in the middle of a class or something or doing a live, and I can't answer it, and then I forget about it later. So yeah, voice messages I don't like, but some people send loads of them.
I'm heading back to the airport to get to NYC. I might need some help getting there. There was also another troubling text. I got hacked. I can't fly. I got tricked pretty much into giving away my funds for someone I thought I loved.
She felt scared, unsafe, just
Thought I loved.
She felt.
Oh, that one especially. Remember with Hannah Kobayashi, it was saying, I've met this fantastic guy, in the street, and I'm going off to stay with him for a few weeks in his country house, like as if Hannah would have just met someone in the street. Oh, instant connection. So when her friends and family saw those messages from Hannah Kobayashi, they knew instantly. It didn't matter whether they were in English or Spanish. They weren't messages that Hannah would send. And that's how it feels with this. I got hacked. I can't fly. I got tricked pretty much into giving away my funds. And they've made a big a thing about funds. Who says funds? Maybe somebody whose English is not their first language. When would you describe your money as funds? Maybe you'd say giving away all my money, giving away all my income even. But I think funds is a strange word to use, isn't it? And then for someone I thought I loved. So they're trying to point the finger at somebody there, I think, in these messages. I don't think these messages have come from Hannah. I'm just going to put that out there from experience, if you like, of true crime and false messages that get sent by people. I don't think Hannah sent these messages. Somebody else sent them for whatever reason.
For someone I thought I loved.
She felt scared, unsafe, just strange things.
They say Hannah's ex-boyfriend was also on her flight to LA, but believe he has nothing to do with her disappearance.
That is not the focus of the investigation at this time.
Now comes another sighting of Hannah.
Now, that father, I'm sorry, now I hope I'm wrong, but he can't look, he looks like he's thinking about something else. There's something going on there, anyway, I don't know. Shouldn't say it really because we don't know for sure. Rest in peace, he has left this planet. Only he knows what's going on through his head.
Investigation at this time.
Now comes another
Oh, that's right. There was something else I was going to pick up on what his auntie said. Let me just see that again.
appearance.
That is not the focus of the investigation.
That's right. So supposedly her ex-boyfriend was with her, but now the family's saying that's not the focus of the Look at the dad's face there. Look at his face. Oh God, I don't like to cast aspersions, but there's something there. Now, if your loved one, the last time they were seen was at the airport with their ex-boyfriend, well, of course that'd be the focus of the investigation. They've disappeared. The last time they were seen was at the airport with the ex-boyfriend. Of course it's the focus of the investigation. And now the auntie is saying, no, it's not the focus of the investigation. It clearly is, sorry.
At this time.
Now comes another sighting of Hannah at a downtown metro station. Her family says authorities showed them footage 7 days ago of Hannah and that she did not appear to be in good condition, and she was not alone.
We can confirm that our suspicions are real and that there seems to be something nefarious. She was with someone and it did not seem okay.
Hannah's family says she had just booked her first job as a professional photographer in New York and would never have intentionally missed her flight.
Okay, let's look at the next one.
woman missing from Hawaii has not been.
Oh, actually, let's go back to News Nation because I like that. So she was seen with someone, and they keep referring to it as an unidentified person. Now, who was this person? Was it her ex-boyfriend? Or, honestly, I feel like it might have been her dad. Honestly, there's something strange about the dad. Bless him. When I say bless him, why is he taking his own life? Oh, sorry. Oh.
And relatives especially concerned over those text messages you just saw from Hannah's phone on November 11th, one stating, "I got hacked, stripped of my identity, I can't fly," and another saying, "I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. I've been on the streets." According to Hannah's aunt, the wording in the text is suspicious, and the phone has been off since November 11th. Now they're just fighting, fearing the worst.
A woman missing from Hawaii has not been seen or heard from in nearly 2 weeks. Hannah Kobayashi's family says she was on her way to New York, but missed her connecting flight at LAX on November 8th. Since then, her family has received what they call troubling texts from Hannah, but now nothing. So adding to the mystery, police tell her family the 31-year-old has been spotted on surveillance video in downtown LA and was last seen at the metro stop about a block from where the Lakers play with an unidentified person. So that's where News Nation's Nancy Liu joins us live. Nancy, her family is really centering their search for Hannah around that arena.
That's right, Nicole. And her family tells me even more relatives have arrived in LA, and a rally is planned for this afternoon outside crypto.com arena. And I want to show you that is just steps away from the metro station where Hannah was seen on surveillance over a week ago now. And according to her aunt, who saw the unreleased footage from this area, Hannah is not alone in the video. She does not look well, and she's in the same clothing she was wearing when she arrived at LAX from Maui on November 8th. Earlier sightings have been at the Grove Shopping Center, where Hannah last posted to Instagram from a Nike event on November 10th. In a video obtained by the family, Hannah is seen strolling through the event that day, wearing headphones, and relatives especially concerned over those text messages you just saw from Hannah's phone on November 11th, one stating, "I got hacked, stripped of my identity, I can't fly," and another saying, "I got tricked pretty much into giving away all my funds for someone I thought I loved. I've been on the streets." According to Hannah's aunt, the wording in the text is suspicious, and the phone has been off since November 11th. Now they're just fighting, fearing the worst.
Time is of the essence, and it's dwindling. So we are terrified. We're thinking, now we're thinking of things like, was she abducted? The word, and I hate to say it, but the word trafficked.
Yeah. So they've been talking about maybe she's been abducted, has she been trafficked? Lots of different things. The family, the police are saying nothing, nada, zilch.
And back here live, you can see some of the posters and flyers that are just plastered throughout this area. And adding to the mystery here, this metro line, it does not go to LAX. You have to make a connection to another line in order to get out there. And that just leaves family to wonder why she was in this area. Did someone bring her here? Nicole?
So Nancy, what are police saying?
Well, I just saw some detectives here a short time ago, and they formally got this case on November 12th when the family filed the missing person report, and they confirm an investigation is underway. But the surveillance video from this area, it's not been released. They're out here trying to look for more surveillance, and there's no hard evidence of a crime or foul play at this point. So the family feels it's not a priority since Hannah is young, appears to have left LAX on her own accord to explore the city after missing that connection to New York. Now, the family rally later outside crypto.com arena. This is going to happen before the Lakers game tonight.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that because Hannah was sort of a young woman, a photographer, no children, whatever, she can do what the hell she wants, can't she, basically? But imagine if now Hannah, if she has decided to just go off and do her own life, live her own life, etc. Yeah, I'm having a great time. And now she finds out in the news that her father has thrown himself off the parking, a multi-story car park. Imagine that. What's she gonna? This is just not right that he's done that. I can't see how any father, any person, would do that before they knew what had happened to their child. As I say, if he'd found out that something terrible had happened to Hannah, I understand it perfectly. But fancy doing that before you even know what's happened. And wouldn't you be thinking, if your loved one, your child, your adult child, saw that you'd thrown yourself off a multi-story car park, you'd be that worried about them just wanting to find out what's happened to them. You just wouldn't do it, would you? So this is a very, very, it's devastating for the rest of the family, and I feel for them, but I can't help but think, why would Hannah's father do that? Anyway, let me know what you think, as always, in chat. Let me just start this again.
So they're desperately hoping for new leads with heightened awareness, but they're just desperate to find Hannah.
Yeah, hopefully they will find her. All right, Nancy, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget.
I hope they will find her. Where is she? Where the hell is Hannah? Anyway, this is an interview that the father did with the aunt, obviously before he did what he did to himself. But see what you make of this.
This morning for a Hawaii woman who disappeared in LA. The FBI is now investigating what happened to Hannah Kobayashi. The 30-year-old missed a connecting flight from LAX to New York on November 8th Instead, it appears she toured the Grove Shopping Center and went to a local event in the following days. Her family says they received text messages from her that were out of character, and they also obtained new surveillance video that shows her near the Pico metro station. And they say she wasn't alone in that footage. They think she was abducted or even trafficked. And joining me now is her father and her aunt, Ryan Kobayashi and Lori Pigeon. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry it's under these circumstances. I know it's been, must be an agonizing time for you right now. How are you doing?
We're really tired, but we are remaining hopeful, and we are remaining, vigilant,
Yeah.
What have you learned? All these clues are kind of emerging. There's images and surveillance video. You saw the images at LAX. What are you learning on a daily basis, and what is the very latest in the case?
So we, through our own investigative work, we've kind of tracked her down. Just a quick synopsis: she missed her flight. She ran. She was trying to connect her flight. We believe that she was on standby. And that because of that, she was going and just basically exploring LA. We have found out that she did charge her phone on Saturday.
So she charged her phone on the Saturday. Now, the thing is, nobody wants to say anything. You can see any YouTube channel I've watched or any video I've watched about this since the father has done what he's done. Nobody wants to be the one to say it, but it is definitely strange that the father has taken himself out of this world before he even knows what's happened to his own daughter. It is odd, and there's no point in beating around the bush. It's strange. I can't imagine doing that. If my son went missing, do you imagine, taking yourself away from the planet before you even knew if your child needed you? Because all that, even though they may come back from whatever experience they've had, they may be traumatized. She might have been trafficked, she might have been kidnapped, she might have been RAPD'd, held prisoner, and then, but she may come back and she would need her dad. She would need her dad as well as the rest of her family to help her get through it, to get over it, to survive. And, and you'd imagine then you just throw yourself off a car park. You just would, in my opinion, or the way, just common sense, just. Now, I know you can't always apply common sense. People do strange things. And I noticed that on one of the Twitter, the X feeds that I was looking at, Gabby Petito's dad, he made a comment and said, I understand exactly how he felt. So maybe I don't understand how it feels because I've not been in that position. But the way I look at it is I would not even be considering that until I knew for certain something had happened to my child. And I think when Gabby Petito's dad made that comment, I'm sure he's been down that very dark road after Gabby was found, and it was found that she was deceased. But I'm sure in a million years he would never have done that before Gabby had been found, before it was proven that she was deceased. I'm just 100% certain that he wouldn't. So, but everyone's trying to be nice, and I understand that. It's tragic, whatever, but just there's something strange. Something doesn't sit right here.
Employee confirmed it. We actually got proof of her filling out in her own handwriting a mailing list with her address in Hawaii. And then, that's when things got really fuzzy, was on Monday with the weird, very strange text messages that were coming to her family. And we were made aware of video surveillance that shows her with an unidentified person exiting around the Pico metro station. And that's sort of where we lose her.
Yeah. Now, be aware that the police have not released the CCTV of her with an unidentified person. We haven't seen that yet. But there's a, I don't know about you, but like, see the auntie, she seems very, I know she's upset and she's worried about Hannah, obviously, but she's very relaxed in how she's speaking. The father, to me, looks like he's been hit in the face by a brick or something, in the sense of he just looks like out of it, doesn't he? He's just, now you may feel like that. You know, I can see that that's maybe a natural reaction when your daughter goes missing, but he really does look, because up to now, you know, when this video was taken, although it seems strange that Hannah has disappeared, there's no evidence to suggest that this foul play. So, but this father, he does look just like he's been totally, you know, just whacked in the face by, you know, Mike Tyson or someone. Or Conor McGregor.
And Brian, can you talk about those text messages and why they were so out of character for her?
Well, just the wording that she used and just seemed kind of odd, off base, yeah.
And she said something about giving away her money to someone she thought she was in love with or something. What did they say?
Yeah, it basically said that she gave all her funds away, and just the word funds, not money, not cash, to someone that she loved. Another thing is that Hannah speaks in emojis. Even if you look at her Instagram profile, it's thousands of emojis, and within these texts, there's not a single emoji. And it's just stealing her identity. You know, she had a spirit.
Look at the father's face. But anyway, it doesn't matter whether it was him or not. It definitely was not Hannah who sent those texts. 100% certain. When you start receiving texts from someone you know and love, and they're not like the texts you normally get, there's something fishy. You might not notice in the moment. You know, if I could get a message off my son tomorrow, and I might not notice that it's strange in that moment, but then later, if my son went missing, I'd be looking at those last texts and thinking, hang on a minute, you know. Yeah, but for my son, it'd be like if they started putting kisses and that, it'd be like, definitely not my son.
Spiritual awakening. It was bizarre, you know, like it, and so it wasn't out of character for her.
There's a rally happening today at Crypto Arena. How can people help? What are you asking for from the public?
So we would just like people to show up at 3 p.m. You know, the Lakers game is happening, and she was seen 2 blocks over, and people are coming in from all across California. And I just want to say thank you to the public of Los Angeles, because they've been so helpful. So if you can come to the rally, we're handing out flyers because the family doesn't know how long we can be here. So we can hand out flyers to keep the support going, and to, you know, just give an update to all the people and kind of create the narrative and the truth, you know, and kind of dismay some of the crazy, wild things that are out there, and, you know, let them see the family.
And Ryan, if you could talk to her, if she could see this message from you, if she could see some of your appearances, what would be your message to her right now?
Yeah, now this is important as well. What would you say to her? I'm going to rewind that a little bit.
Her.
Love you, Hannah. You know, just love all the love and support she has. Everybody's praying for her safe return, and you know, we're just grateful for everything that everybody's been outpouring. It's been overwhelming. Yeah.
And what is she?
Now that seems quite genuine, doesn't it? That did seem quite genuine. But anyway, keep listening.
She like as a person?
Oh, she's the kindest heart, you know. And everything about her was just beautiful, you know.
Everything about her was just beautiful. Now, we've seen from other appeals and interviews that people have made, you know, people make a big deal out of people talking in the past tense, which is logical, isn't it? But, you know, sometimes if we give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe he's just talking like that because it's a mystery what's happened to her, and it seems evident that something bad has happened to her. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just a trap we fall into. Let's just rewind that again. But he clearly says she was.
Everything about her was just beautiful, you know.
Everything about her was just beautiful. Anyway, time will tell.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best. We wish a speedy recovery for her, and that you get some answers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Christine.
much.
Are there any new developments? Have you heard anything new from police?
No, today's been 12 days since we've last heard from her, and since her phone has gone dead. And now it's just kind of a waiting game. The family did all they could to try to find, to try to do their own investigation, but now it's in the hands of the police and the investigators.
One thing I'm confused by is that she went back to the airport and was trying to, it sounds like, buy a ticket so she didn't have to be on standby. So if she went back to the airport, it sounds like she wanted to get to New York. So something, I guess, happened from the time after she went back to LAX. Is that right?
Yeah. So from what we can tell, and just to let you know, she landed at 9:53 p.m. On Friday. So it was late in the evening. So what we can tell is that she was on standby. The reason that she was going, out to the same place, the Grove, she must have been staying there somewhere around that area. She felt safe there. It's very touristy. And then she was at the airport speaking with an American Airlines agent, and she was like, I want to get out of here. And that kind of lines up with the frustration via the text messages. And then, on the 11th, it was just the strangest text, the most bizarre text. It caused such alarm in the family before we even knew something was wrong. And then, through our investigation, we were made aware of video footage of her on the metro late in the evening on the 11th and being, exiting the train at the Pico station at the Pico station at 10 p.m. is terrifying. It's dangerous. There's no reason that Hannah would go there unless she was misled, unless she was forced to. Or unfortunately, now we're thinking unless she was drugged.
We obviously haven't been able to see the surveillance video. Police haven't released it. I'm just thinking all these places she was are the kinds of places there would be a lot of cameras. The subway station, the shopping center, the airport. Has the family been able to look at any of the video? Because, as a family member, you can tell if someone's acting strange or if something is up.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you.
Right, I'm just going to stop that now and go on to the video where it was announced, a video on the news where it was announced that her father died. Look at that.
We begin tonight with breaking news in the case of a missing woman from Maui who vanished at LAX, and a tragic development tonight, even as that woman remains missing. I'm Jory Rand.
I'm Michelle Fisher. There is still no sign of that young lady, but the search has taken a heartbreaking turn for her family. Police say that Hannah Kobayashi's father, Ryan, was found dead early this morning in a parking lot near the airport. He had traveled to LA to help search for his missing daughter. The 30-year-old woman was on her way from Hawaii to New York City earlier this month when she failed to board her connecting flight. Initially, friends received some strange text messages, and Hannah was spotted on LA Metro surveillance video. But her trail has gone cold for the last 2 weeks. The coroner's office has not released her father's cause of death. A group aligned with her family says that Ryan may have taken his own life. Family members asking the public to remain focused on finding Hannah.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel, and download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.
Yeah. So it's gone from all that, like the father appealing. He's been there on the streets day in, day out, missing posters, etc. And then he's just done that. Just unbelievable, really, isn't it, when you think about it? It is pretty much, you know, you couldn't make it up. It's one of those. If you were in, oh, look, this is all over the world, so this is in Australia as well. If you were writing a story, you know, making it, or a film, you wouldn't believe this. You know, this would seem, you couldn't believe it. Let's see what the Australians are making of it. Oh, let's put them.
For more than a week as the search continues for the missing woman from Maui, LAPD confirmed that her father died after jumping from a building near LAX this morning, which is less than a mile from where we're standing.
We'll find you, Hannah. We'll find you. We'll bring you home.
Ryan Kobayashi making a promise to find his missing daughter, Hannah Kobayashi. He spoke to NBC4 on Thursday near the Crypto.com arena, while volunteers helped the family pass out flyers for 30-year-old Hannah.
Been missing for a week now. We're just trying to get our boots on the ground to find out what happened.
Ryan had recently flown in from Hawaii to meet family and friends in Los Angeles to help with the search. Hannah landed at LAX from Maui on November 8th. She missed her connecting flight to New York and spent the weekend waiting for another flight. Her family says during that time, she left the airport to visit the Grove and walk around LA. According to her family, she was last seen on surveillance footage exiting the metro at the Pico station near the Crypto.com arena on November 11th. Hannah's family said they received strange messages from her that day, worried someone was trying to steal her identity and money, and that was the last time they heard from her, leading them to believe she may be in danger.
It's just a nightmare. Every parent's nightmare. You know, it's just crazy. We don't know where to start, where to begin, and it's like a grain of sand in the ocean. You know, it's anything. It could be anything possible.
Hannah's father desperate for answers, but telling NBC4 he was hopeful. On Sunday morning around 4, LAPD says Ryan died after jumping off the 7th floor of a parking garage on Century Boulevard near Vicksburg Avenue. He was 58 years old.
Hannah, please come home. Please just come home, you know. Please just give us a call, reach out to anybody, you know.
It is officially Thanksgiving week, which means
there you go. So that's where we are in the case of Hannah. Another very strange, truth is certainly stranger than fiction, isn't it? Something has happened. Yeah, I think, David, that's a possibility, isn't it? Maybe somebody contacted the father and said that she was deceased, and that's why he's done what he's done. Maybe nothing to do. I mean, no, I can't make my mind up. I mean, he looks genuinely upset, you know, so, but he would be upset, wouldn't he? You know, it's impossible that sometimes even when people kill someone, they're still upset afterwards. You know, but it's hard to imagine a father doing that doing something to their daughter, isn't it? And, you know, but it could be that, yeah, maybe somebody's contacted him and said, you know, your daughter's deceased, and you know, maybe that's why he couldn't stand it any longer. But obviously something's happened. So the police, I think what's also strange about this case, or maybe not, because there's obviously an investigation going on, the police are stum, saying nada, nothing, zilch, no police statements, no police conference type things, nothing, no information. We don't know who the strange person was at the airport, you know, who was supposedly seen with her. Maybe it was an ex-boyfriend, and maybe he has contacted poor Brian and said, you know, your daughter's dead. So anyway, a lot to come out. I wanted to tell you about it because I think it's one of those cases, you know, that it literally is stranger than fiction. Things go on in the world, don't they? That, you know, we live our little lives, and you know, well, I do anyway. My very little life, you know, I have a very boring life, really. But you know what? There's a lot to be said for boring. Okay, so thank you.